Hi! If this is your first time here, welcome. But if you're like me and you've been here before, welcome back. I'm sure you all remember the last video was of my July mood blanket, and I'm sure you're all fully aware it's almost the end of August. So life got a little bit busy finishing those last few weeks of Granny Squares. Weeks 3, 4, and 5 really didn't get videos, but I did finish the squares. I did still keep track of the weeks. And I just want to show you guys the pile of squares that I have now before I start sewing everything together and making the actual blanket. So here we go. As you can see, this is it. These are all the squares, all 35. And as I'm sure you can also tell, they're not all the same color in the border. I ran out and Walmart never restocked, so I kind of had to keep it going with the yarn that I did have. So as you can see, the whipped cream that I had finished, and I had to go with white because it was the only yarn that I had, and I still have some left over. So I'm going to be using the white to sew all of these squares together, but these are all 35 squares for my July mood blanket. So I'm going to get started on sewing. Okay. Before I start sewing, I just want to show you guys the calendar, that I had for July, so that we can see the different moods and basically get an idea of kind of what the blanket's going to look like. Yeah, so I'm going to go sewing each week together, and then what I'll do is after I have the 5 different rows, then I'll sew those together that way. So, I'll get started on sewing and then come back when I'm starting on this last row of 7 days so that you guys can see how I'm sewing everything together. And then of course, I'll come back and show you guys when I start sewing everything together as far as, the actual blanket coming together and not just the stripes. So hopefully everything goes well. We're gonna get started. Okay, so since I can't seem to organize myself well enough to get everything out in one shot, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna organize the different squares or the different colors of the squares, and then I'm going to use the calendar. It's not a map. I'm gonna use the calendar to select the squares that I need and then sew those together as I'm doing the rows. So that way, everything looks it's a little bit more organized, but I'll show you what everything looks like once the squares are separated. Okay, and so here they are, all 6 colors of my blanket. So now I'm gonna get sewing. I'm gonna get organizing by the first week, and then I'm gonna start sewing to get these squares, all together, and to hopefully get this blanket done so that I can enjoy it. I know all the squares don't look like they're the same size, but hopefully it works out because, I'm still working out how to gauge my projects, and well, I'm hoping for the best. This is going to be the first big size blanket that I've ever made, so you guys are kind of joining me on this journey of something brand new that I've never done before in crochet. I've made baby blankets like you saw in my first video, which I need to update you guys on, but that blanket's going pretty well, and I'm actually getting ready to start my last blanket that I'm going to be donating. But this blanket right now, this July mood blanket, I'm going to try and get the white squares or the white bordered squares to be, pretty evenly dispersed through the blanket, just because I don't want everything to be on like the same week all white while everything else is this pretty cream color that I love so much. But I'm gonna do my best, and I guess it'll come together as I go. So wish me luck. You'll see what it looks like in the end. Okay, this is week 1. I managed to crochet all of the squares together. As you can see, we still have our white squares, but we're gonna make it work. So that's week 1. This square right here would have been the last Sunday of June, and then of course the other days in July. So let's see the other weeks. Here we are with week 2, looking a little weird with that white border around there, but you can see I wish I wouldn't have run out of the whipped cream. because it just looks so nice around the other colors. But here's week 2. Now you guys finally get to see week 3. As you can see, it was a very pink week. Very, very pretty. I love the way these colors look with the cream color, especially this little pink here. The white, I don't know. I'm getting used to it. Here's week 4. Looking at it, you see, it's so pretty. Even these little squares that I still really don't like very much, they look nice. Here's week 4. This is the only week that has no pink at all. No pink, no mauve. Look at it. It looks so nice though. And here is week 5, the last week of July. This one here is a different yarn, and it's obviously a different color, but we made it work. And then we finished off, and that was it. These are the stripes. Now we get to sew everybody together into a blanket. Hi everyone! So after months and months, the long-awaited mood blanket is finally done. I finished it. This is the last video for this blanket. It doesn't look so bad, but you can kind of tell that I had some struggles with the yarn, but all in all, everything together, I feel like it looks good. I like it and it's for me, so I have to like it, but I'm going to give you guys the final look. I was able to finish, seaming all the squares, all the columns and rows together. Everything is in the order it's supposed to be. The weeks are in their order by day, and I was even able to add a cute little border, but here's the mood blanket. This is, you can see week 1 and 2 right now, and we keep going. Here's the other one, and like I said in the first video, which I'm extremely happy about, but like I said in the first video, that blue and brown, those squares actually really do blend in very nicely with all the other squares, and I don't hate it as much as I did when I started this project. But here's the blanket, all done with its cute little border, little fans in the border, and you can see 3 different shades of white. We have white right here, and we have whipped cream, which is what we started with, and then for our border we have soft white by Red Heart. I don't know who the white is by, but the whipped cream was Lion's brand if I'm not mistaken, and then all the other materials were included in that first video. But here's the mood blanket, all done. Finally, I can move on to some other projects, which I would like to, get started on those actually right now. But I still have to finish one more baby blanket, and then I'll be able to move on. But here's the mood blanket. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this journey. Like I said, I was able to get it done before the end of October, so July mood blanket is finally done. We'll be moving on to some other projects, more entertaining, more exciting than a blanket, and hopefully you guys will be here to join me on that journey. Thank you. Don't forget to subscribe, and see you in the next video. Bye.